Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It always seems impossible until it's done. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Our human compassion binds us the one to the other, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed toward the sun, one's feet moving forward. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger, then people will appreciate your leadership. I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. I was made, by the law, a criminal, not because of what I had done, but because of what I stood for, because of what I thought, because of my conscience. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. In my country, we go to prison first and then become president. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. The greatest gift in life is to be remembered. Let freedom reign. The sun never set on so glorious a human achievement. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. I was not a messiah, but an ordinary man who had become a leader because of extraordinary circumstances. We can change the world and make it a better place. It is in your hands to make a difference. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. Do not let your past dictate who you are, but let it be part of who you will become. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end he and the other side must be closer and thus emerge stronger. You don't have that idea when you are arrogant, superficial, and uninformed. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. In the end, reconciliation is a spiritual process. It requires more than just words. It has to happen in the hearts and minds of people. Respect for one's parents is the highest duty of civil life. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that a son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that a child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. The struggle is my life. I will continue fighting for freedom until the end of my days. We need to exert ourselves that much more and break out of the vicious cycle of dependence imposed on us by the financially powerful, those in command of immense market power, and those who dare to fashion the world in their own image. Our march to freedom is irreversible. We must not allow fear to stand in our way. Freedom cannot be achieved unless the women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb.